dude, you got a killer logo, you got an awesome name, like, why don't you leverage that? Like, why don't you like do something with that that's going to represent itself better in images or socials and stuff, and don't just follow the other detailers you see on Instagram.
Detailers Roadmap Cruise Control, where we navigate the roadways of life, business, and everything in between. Hey guys, it's Kevin Davis from the Cruise Control Podcast. We are here at Mobile Tech Expo 2025 MTE. We are doing a series of podcasts while we're here and had an opportunity to sit down with Anthony from the RAG company.
You got it. Yeah.
You stopped by yesterday and I was like, oh, we gotta get him on. We'll talk some stuff. These guys, and I'll let you tell me more about yourself and what you're doing at the RAG company, but these guys, in my opinion, in the industry have set the gold standard for content creation.
Stop, that's so nice.
You know, I mean, because you guys have done on location stuff, you have an awesome studio, you've done TR-SEMA. I mean, you guys have really set that standard, almost a standard that most companies and detailers have been unable to keep up with. Which I think, but in a good way, right?
Yeah,
like we all want that. We all want that higher standard to be able to set.
Yeah.
But I've always been super impressed. I'm like, how the hell do those guys do all that all the time?
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
We don't sleep a lot. We don't eat a lot. You know,
well, we just
like
had
that.
the conversation. You were up drinking champagne out of like some crystal
golden glasses.
shoe.
Yeah, from like 3:30 last night. No, yeah. So
tell me, just give us the background.
Yeah.
Tell me who you are, what you do at the RAG company.
So I'm Anthony. Work at the RAG company. Sell microfiber towels. Specialize in foreign textiles, things like that. That's what I tell people.
Foreign textiles.
Foreign textiles.
That sounds really fancy.
I summarize with that. I sell chemicals. Whatever in the adjacent market. So no, I mean realistically, at the RAG company, I've had multiple jobs over the years, right? I mean, I've done a little bit of everything because that company's grown, massively over the last 7-8 years that I've been there. And so previous to that, I did marketing and merchandising at bodybuilding.com, right, where I was in the fitness industry. But I was a customer of the RAG company. I bought all of my microfiber towels through the RAG company, but there really wasn't much information out there, right, in terms of detailing on YouTube and stuff like that. But I knew I needed microfiber towels. I searched microfiber towels. Go figure, there's microfiber towels 1 mile away from me in Boise at a storefront. I'm like, no way, right? So I go there. I started learning more about the RAG company, become friends with the owners, become friends with Dane, the owner's son, and then before you know it, I'm working there, right? So the operation was small, but media had always been at our core what we did, right? Because Dane, right, who's the son of Jeff and Carolyn, came from a film studio background. So he went to film school in LA. He did that for a year or so. He loved movies, he loved film, but he knew that he wanted to still be involved in creating media, creating content, because he's a big YouTube connoisseur. So the idea was, in order to sell towels, education was going to be the best way to do that. And through education, obviously, a platform like YouTube exists or other social media platforms. So,
and did you guys just know that was the case, or did you like, hey, I wonder if we did a bunch of educational videos that were fun and exciting about something that is not fun and exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's detail products and towels. Like, did you kind of know, or did you have to do a bunch of testing and, this performed, this didn't perform?
Well, I think just look at it at its core, right? So detailing is one of those things where you can explain every single part of detailing. You can explain every part about a microfiber towel, a synthetic brush, a chemical, and all that. But at the end of the day, right, visually seeing something, right, whether it be in action or just having visual representation of it's going to make the biggest difference. And a photo's right worth 1,000 words, whatever it is, but a video, I mean, shoot, dude, I mean, you can interpret that or learn from that any way you want. So really, basically, the initial videos started out as educational videos about the towels, and that's kind of where we started, right? And then Levi comes into the picture, and then Ivan and everybody else to kind of help out with that build out of not just chemicals, but how to pair detailing chemicals with towels, right? So we started obviously with Optimum Polymer Technologies in the chemical area, but then we had a lot of different microfiber towels that we had to give purpose to, right? Because a towel is a towel. I know a towel is a towel, right? You can use a towel for 1,000 different things, but in order for it to mean something, you have to find the purpose for it, meaning you have to do the research, you have to do the testing, you have to do a lot of different things to figure out what this is best for, and then you have to demonstrate on it or teach on it or educate on it. So YouTube became that platform, and that's what just, I mean, absolutely blew things up. That went from being a couple orders a day to 50 orders a day, 100 orders a day, 1,000 orders a day, right? That media stuff really kind of just transcended that. So then when I came into the picture, right, I was like a big Instagram person, right? I love, Instagram, like photos and short videos and stuff. And so we were already in the process of doing YouTube. So I'm like, hey, let me take the Instagram over. Let me start running this the way I would want to. Like, I want it to look like how I would want to buy from, right? Like some of my favorite companies out there. I'm like, what are they doing? What can we do to replicate that
in other industries?
In other industries, right? So like, I love the motorcycle industry, and so a good comparison is there's a company called Revzilla who sell motorcycle parts, right? They make tons of videos on motorcycle stuff, high production stuff, lower production stuff, but they're really fun, right? Like it's a good time. And I go, how can we get those vibes, transfer that over to rag company towels and kind of do the same thing? And with time and with enough energy and personality, it slowly but surely started happening. So really, if it wasn't for social media though, like we know 100%, like the rag company would not be where we are today. I have any brochures that I have to pass out? Thousands.
Wow.
I have to print out like 100,000 brochures. Come to this every single weekend to have the same reach that a YouTube video would have. And so media is just, it's really crazy. So at our core, that's what we've always done. And then over the years, that has transformed into something different, right? So what started as a few YouTube videos shot on cell phones and GoPros have now turned into full production shoots with higher end cameras, live streaming with higher end cameras, stuff that's going direct into a magical box that tells it to go live, on the internet, but also records in 4K at the same time and stores it away in like one of 15 servers. I don't even know how that crap works, and I just go with it. And then the other side is photos and all of that. So it's all kind of media based, but we've been able to take that initial approach and then turn it into something like TRCMA, which is a full production, full week, you've seen it, live event where we pull in some of the biggest people in the industry under one roof and essentially create a virtual SEMA.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth.
And I've been to a couple of those, and it's just, when COVID came out, when COVID happened, I was like, dude, if SEMA, would actually implement what the rag company is doing with their smaller event, like that would have been the way to transition, that whole show, at least to augment what they've got going on. You would think that, I'm friends with Mike Spagnolia, the president of SEMA. I should beat on him a little bit about that.
Well, because the thing is, we pulled that off in that first event we did. We pulled that off in less than 3 months or less than 4 months, right?
That was like 18 or 19?
It was 20. Was it 19 or was 20? I think it was 20.
Okay.
20, like in 2020. And so we pulled that off in no time, right? But SEMA, when they went virtual, right?
It was terrible, by the way.
Can we say that?
Yeah.
Can we say that? It was the worst SEMA ever, right? And you were still expected to participate, right? You had to participate, otherwise you would lose your spot,
right? Yeah,
or whatever, right? And so it was just funny because I'm like, we pulled this thing off, right, with this many brands, and for a lack of a better, we have high school students that we will take out of high school that will do internships with us, and that will pull in because Gabe was a high school teacher for video and tech, and so he had all these connections. So we had essentially a bunch of high schoolers running cameras and gear, right? And we pulled off this, like, I would think a really good event. Like a really good event for our first year ever with almost little time. And then SEMA, of course, had like months and months and months to create a website that was less than ideal and all sorts of other stuff. And then that was gone forever, right? No, that's never going to happen again. So anyway.
Well, with an event like that, I don't want to derail the conversation too much, but one of the things I thought would be super cool is to use AR, VR, some of that, kind of thing. Is that, like, do you guys think that far ahead on TRCMA? Like, what if we could actually do that kind of stuff? Because there's so many people that VR goggles and that technology is out there.
So what's funny, we have, call them the nerds, right? So there's several people on our team, right? Includes Anthony Blaine, Nick Kovac, Glenn Shore. These three, they're in it, right? They love the latest and greatest in technology. They love the idea of VR, virtual reality, and then a big thing too is, oh my gosh, what's that? It's a video game engine, Unreal is what it's called. It's called Unreal Engine, and you can create so many things, right? And we've talked about what does that mean for the future for media? The hard part is we don't know, because we go, would people want to put on VR headsets and essentially relive a detail? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe.
Eventually,
maybe for training or maybe for something like that. But I don't know, because my old boss, who used to own bodybuilding.com, has now created a virtual reality workout tool, I guess you can call it. So when you go to the gym, you have a VR headset on and you're playing video games, but you're working out at the same time, right? With
resistance. Like Wii Sports times 1,000.
But with real equipment, right? Yeah. And so I laugh and I think about that and I go, well, what would that look like in detailing? And truthfully, I don't know. I think maybe for trainings and things like that in the future, maybe shop layouts, things like that. So when people are like, hey, I need to build a shop, I need to build a van, right? Okay, well now we've created this augmented reality, right? Where you can see these cabinets in your space, these tools in your space, these towels in your space, whatever. I can see that probably being a pretty real thing.
Yeah, well, Wayfair and Amazon has that kind of thing now, which is kind of cool.
I think you guys should do that.
I do like that idea.
I think if we do it, people are gonna be like, why is this towel company doing all this augmented reality stuff, right? Obsessed Garage could probably pull it off. Yeah. But I think you guys,
we gotta get with Chris to get that moving.
I think you guys could do something, but no, I don't know what the future is. But I think that social media, though, still today is still the Wild West, right? They got TRC where we are today. We've had a lot of fun doing it. At our core, we're really creative people. We love to have fun. We don't take life too seriously. And I think the best way to get into social media, be yourself, do what we're doing right now, is the confidence will come with not caring what people think, right? And just, I don't know, I tell people I just make things weird. I just have fun with it. You know what I mean? I'm just myself. Yeah. Still try to be professional, but at the same time, I'm cool with, I don't know, just
and is that something that you guys did intentionally? We were talking yesterday. I've got a new brand manager for one of my brands, and we were talking about kind of this new trend with the Instagram algorithm that is rewarding people for very consistent content, right? And so his example is you can't. This is one of my men's brands. Yeah. And he's like, you can't post a picture of you working out and dumbbells one day and a picture of your dog the next day, right?
It's 100% true.
But he's also throwing we're throwing filters. Yeah. On our videos, so to give it a very branded look, so that okay, this video looks just like all the other videos. Do you guys do that kind of stuff intentionally? I know and brand voice comes into this. So when you're talking about being goofy and all that, is that do you guys have to have conversations to say this is our brand voice, or did it kind of develop over time?
That's a good question. So really, we didn't even really develop a brand book. Like a full-on brand pamphlet for the rag company until this last year. Really, we never internally. We all knew what our voice was. We all knew where we were in the industry. We all knew how we would sell things or things like that. But that was never really on paper. And so it wasn't just until recently that we actually built out a brand book to be here's who we are, here's our voice. Here's what we specialize in. This is what we're serious about. This is what we're goofy about. And it's funny because it's in the text, it's literally saying we are fun, we are loose, we're educational, but we're down for a good time. There's a bunch of fun things there, and I think it's 100% true. And it's kind of funny when you read it. But
this episode is brought to you by Detailer's Roadmap. Hey, spoiler alert, that's us. We all know you need a kick-ass website in order to be successful with your business. The good news is at Detailer's Roadmap, kick-ass websites, that's kind of what we do. With the latest performance, designs, and SEO strategies, Detailer's Roadmap is your one-stop shop to be successful on the web. And don't forget, we have the best support team in the industry. Whether you're an existing partner looking to improve your lead generation or you need a brand new website, Detailer's Roadmap is here to help you be successful on the web. So go to detailersroadmap.com/success and get started today. That's detailersroadmap.com/SUCCESS.
That is what we are. So when it comes to like Instagram or Reels or figuring out what the brand image is going to look like consistently, I mean, you can dive into the details. You can dive into the, hey, we need to use this filter. We need to post at this time. We have to use this group of hashtags. We have to make sure that it is shot with this camera, with this lens, at this time of the day, with the sun, in the dusk in the background.
Between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m.
My muscles have to be gleaming, right? There needs to be the sunset coming over. My veins need to be like fully.
I think you're thinking of your bodybuilding.com days.
Right, something like that. But like, it can be that detailed, but really, like for us on Instagram and like IG and doing all what we've done, I built that out for many years, and finally like kind of passed it on to like, hey, I got other things going on. But for us, it was always about what's a great way to showcase product, right? What's a great way to either be educational or fun, but like try to use it like a modern day user would use that is wanting to grow or wanting to succeed. So trending audios, right? I'm not posting a reel without a trending audio. Like that audio needs to have that little arrow going up or I'm not going to use it. I'm not even going to post anything, right? That's going to do me better in the long run than posting every single day from the hip and just like hoping something hits, right? No, I'd rather sniper it and say, this is a trending audio. I'm seeing the trajectory of this over the last 2 days. 100 reels have gotten 2 million views plus, right? The 100 reels got 2 million views plus in 2 days, right? There's a chance that our video,
I want to do that.
There's a chance that our video might hit 500,000, 200,000. I'm okay with that, right? I'll take that crap. I'll take whatever I can get, right? So it's about using it still like somebody youthfully would that is very involved in the platform. But really outside of that though, it's that, and then not going out of here's the hard part. You kind of have to stay in your lane a little bit, right? You can kind of wander
You guys' lane have gone from like 1 to like the ones you see in China, which are like 16. You guys got a lot of lanes, but I get what you're saying.
For example, I can't, like on the Rag Company Instagram, I can't be like detailing content, and then it's like my feet on the beach in Mexico, being like, work's been crazy, feels good to get away, right? There's going to be 130,000 followers that are going to see that and be like, that's weird. Like, why am I seeing it?
First of all, if you're listening to this and you're a man, no one wants to see your legs and feet.
Nobody wants to see your feet. No, dude. So so you kind of have to see your lane, but for example, right? So we're going to be going from this trip right here at MTE. We're going to go shoot videos with YouTubers, right? So starting today, I'm getting picked up. I'm hopping in a car. We're going to go shoot videos with YouTubers, right? But like not in detailing, right? We're going to shoot videos with car YouTubers that have big followings that we've become friends with over the years that like, I might go detail some cars with them. We might hang out. We might watch like Titanic together, right? We might, go get sushi tonight, right? But I'll post something that I will find that's relative to the detailing market. Everybody likes cars and detailing. He's got cars. I'll probably post a picture of a car, right? Cool, I've done my job there, right? And hopefully it gets a lot of likes,
and you can piggyback off of their following and they're collabing with you and all that, right?
Very true. So then, and then for example, I'll probably, right after this trip, right after we visit one YouTuber, we're gonna go visit Matt of Obsessed Garage, and we're gonna go see him. Well, again, a lot of what he does is detailing, a lot of what he does is garage space stuff, but what's great is I can go into his garage, take my phone, rock my body back and forth like a gimbal, right? Get a bunch of shots in 4K, and then find a trending audio, post the shots of his garage with a trending audio, and that reel will probably do 300,000 views, right? Because detailers will still see that and go, whether they like it or they don't like it, they'll comment or they'll say something, right? Like, this is crazy. Your guy doesn't need this much stuff. Or everybody goes, this is dream garage stuff, right? I love this. I aspire to be there. Regardless, it's engagement, and I think it's mostly positive. It's not really super negative. And even on social media nowadays, negativity is still a thing, but like it's much less bad than it was 15 years ago when people really just
and I feel like that the community itself, it almost self-polices now, right? Like
they do. Oh yeah,
somebody will
100%.
say something stupid and they just get hammered.
Oh yeah. Somebody else will fight that battle for you. And so what's nice is that you don't have to do that, especially when you're a brand, right? As a rag company, it doesn't necessarily look great if I jump into the comments and start like reaming a person about how wrong they are, or whatever it is. So I'll never do that. But what we will do is we will attract individuals who are smart, can think for themselves, will usually stand up for maybe the right reason or have a realistic expectation of something, and they'll chime in as well. And I go, hey, thank you. That's nice. Thanks for doing that. You helped me out there. It got me out of an awkward situation. So
I like it. So now how do we translate that for the average detail shop, PPF, wrap shop, tent shop? Like in terms of basically what we just covered, which is, brand voice, posting, that kind of thing. Because I mean, obviously you guys, because I'm sure people listening to this be like, yeah, but that's literally what he does for a living.
Yeah.
He posts on Instagram all day. He does, he could go on these trips and you get paid to do that, right? You don't have to go do a car or whatever.
But if I were to translate that and take even just some of the stuff I've been talking about or some of the stuff I've learned over the years, right, and immediately implement that into a detailing business, I would take so many cues from that to create what I do, right? So, for example, you guys create amazing websites, right? From the ground up, right? Unique websites. What's going to happen is when this clientele of yours, or this client of yours, says, you ask them, hey, what kind of look are you going for? What's your logo? Do you need a logo? We can make you a logo, right? You've started somewhere with a brand, right? Now from there, there's going to be content that the website has to have. It's going to have the pictures of a car, right? Whether it's that person's photos or some photos that you guys find to represent that the best, you're already starting to build out that brand image and what that's going to look like, right? So is this client, is this detailer, is this person, right? Are they looking to reach the highest level of people who are like, they're looking for a site that's bougie and fancy and like, really exclusive? Or are they looking for something that's maybe a little more lighthearted, fun, family focused, right? Things like that. And so what I would do is I would say, depending on your business, depending on your voice, and depending on who you are, you should probably always try to stick true to who you are because it's going to be easier, right? I mean, shoot, dude, if you're like a guy who likes, if you're a guy who likes like the simpler things in life, right? But you're trying to fake it and make it to be like, hey, I only detail Porsches, and
you're not going to pull that off.
You're not going to pull it off. It's not going to feel natural. You're going to come across as fake, and people are going to recognize that. So I'd say try to stay true to who you are, but work with a site like you guys. Build the brand image, figure out what the image is, figure out what the logo is, which usually starts with the logo, starts with the name, and then figure out what that looks like from there, right? Because what happens is the logo and the name, the phone number, the skills, I don't want to say it's the easy part, but that's the part that like most people, they get that ready to go. They go to trainings, they feel solid in starting off their business, right? But then when it comes to actually promoting themselves and marketing themselves on Facebook, Instagram, online, that's where they're not really sure, right? So then they see what other people do, and they see what other detailers are doing, posting the same 3/4 angle of a kind of a detailed car, and
they're fine. It's like literally blind leading the blind.
So then every detailer's page starts looking the same, right? And I go, dude, you got a killer logo, you got an awesome name, like why don't you leverage that? Like why don't you like do something with that that's going to represent itself better in images or socials and stuff, and don't just follow the other detailers you see on Instagram, because now there's really nothing that separates you, right, from the next person. And so, and it could be your personality, it could be your voice, but if people are judging a book off their cover and are looking up on social media, verifying your skills, verifying that you are who they want to choose to detail their car, then make sure you're putting the right foot forward and you're doing something that makes yourself stand out a little bit. So what I love is that in our Grand Ambassador program that we have for the Instagram, for the Rag Company Instagram, I see certain people that will apply and it will do the same 3/4 angle of shot of cars, right? But then I will see some people who will post a picture of maybe themselves next to their mobile van, right?
That's what we recommend action shots all the time.
With their equipment, they're showing them that they're doing something. It's showing them that, hey, here's the face, here's who I am, right? This is who you're gonna meet when I see you next week, when I show up to your work to detail your car, or this is who you're gonna see when you drop off your car. So certain things like that, that can be a pin post, or that can be somewhere you can hire somebody to take your photo for you, or do a little photo shoot if you wanna do that. Or shoot, dude, iPhones, man, like the portrait mode takes such good photos.
Yeah.
You just take a good shot, do a little bit of editing on it, nothing crazy, and now you've got a good starting point. But then, going back to the rest of the brand image, what's your voice going to look like in the text, in the description of every post, right? Is it every day is a sale? 20% off ceramic coatings today, right? Tomorrow is 15% off wheel coatings. And if you only have a handful of followers, and most of them have already been customers within the last week, right? That stuff's not going to work necessarily every single day. So it's good to switch it up, right? Document a little bit of like, products necessarily aren't always, people may not care about, customers aren't necessarily going to care about products, but it could be like, hey, quick little thing about coatings, right? So this particular coating, I love this coating because it lasts this long, makes the car easier to clean, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? This deodorizer that I use, right? This will help you if you have a scent in your car. Like some people might see that and go, crap, my cat just threw up in my car, right? You know, I don't have a, what's it called? What's the little box called?
The ozone.
An ozone machine, or I don't have, whatever it might be, and they may see that kind of stuff that might be useful, but ultimately at the end of the day, once you figure out what your brand is, what your voice is, what kind of you're trying to display on your profile, on your page, on your website, right? Just remember, are you trying to market to your customers? Are you trying to market to people who want detailing service? Or are you trying to market to other detailers?
And for the love of God, don't choose door number 3.
Yeah.
Stop marketing to other detailers. And I love your idea. That I think this is a good tip that I want to make sure we get. You go and emulate successful other businesses that are detailing, for the most part, detailing adjacent.
Yeah, just something, or even
don't emulate. Don't emulate Matt. Mormon, you don't have to do that kind of thing. Find something that we had Steven and Brittany Rusco, they're in Carolinas. But they were like, well, this is the voice that our customers have. Like it's the South, they use Southern expressions, they do, versus someone in New York or Michigan or whatever. And so they try to use that to make sure that they can reach their customers.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I don't know. I mean, us being a retail company and we sell stuff, we sell products on Amazon and with rackcompany.com. I don't know. I go, why? What would I buy, right? Like I think that sometimes a good salesperson kind of also needs to be a decent consumer, right? You have to know what you kind of like to buy, know what you're looking for. I mean, if I can get sold on something, right? I'm like, all right, like what can I learn from this experience, right? I went to Las Vegas. We were there staying at Resorts World, right, at SEMA. There was a guy there working like a spa bath, like a body, what's that called? Like a bath bomb place with all sorts of different stuff. And I walk in there and I'm like, I probably should get something for my wife. I don't really know what to get. And the guy goes, can I wash your hands? And I go, what? And he goes, let me wash your hands. And I go, all right, so he takes this stuff, starts rubbing my hands together, and he starts asking me about what does my wife like? Like, does she like scents? Does she like certain things? And he's doing this, and I'm like, well, this is a really nice experience, right? Like, I like the communication.
About tactile
you know what I mean?
sales.
I like the eye contact that he had. He was really confident in all the product there. And then right after he does this, right, the actual result was incredible. Like my hands felt like a 15-year-old boy again. I was like, what? I'm like, this is amazing. And he goes, so what do you think? Do you think your wife would like something like this? I'm like, yeah, I'll just take everything you used, right? He goes, everything? And I go, yeah, I just want the same thing that you just did there. I spent like $240, right? In 20 minutes. I mean, I literally was,
and then you went home and you washed your wife's hands, right?
And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, so what really sold me there, right? Was it the fact that the product worked? Was it the experience, right? Was it the good conversation? Was it the fact that I was learning about what was in each product, right? And I'm like, part of it was learning about something. I like knowing that these salt crystals were from the Himalayas or whatever the heck it was, right? Like that was interesting. The other interesting part was that their entire packaging is eco-friendly. Everything was green, made from who knows, papaya skins. I don't know what it was, but like I took away some things, and then I had a good result at the end, and I go, sweet, I just spent $240. How can I apply that to whatever I would do in the future, right?
Yeah. I love that. Hey man, I appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
How do people find more information about the Rag Company and what you guys do?
Ragcompany.com, man. So go on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. We do a lot of videos there. Every Thursday, we answer your detailing questions or shop questions or whatever it is. So we do that every Thursday. And then ragcompany.com for all your retail needs if you need to buy stuff. But we do wholesale pricing. We do distributor stuff. We do business program stuff. Most of this doesn't cost you anything extra. You just get kind of like free discounts, right? Just sign up, verify your business. And then we also sell on Amazon. If you're looking for something quick and fast, you can do that as well. But yeah, we sell microfiber towels and we have a good time.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you guys, yeah.
Head over to detailersroadmap.com and get your one-stop success solution today.